It's the 4th of July! Hey! Rocktimus Prime here, back with another video review, and we are just a few weeks away from TFCon. I believe this Friday it will be a week exactly. So today we are going to be doing the MMC reformatted R27 Calidus Captain. This is their take on an IDW Lost Light Robots in Disguise Rocktimus, and being me, I had to pick it up because one, I loved Rocktimus in the cartoon and I loved him in the comic adaptation. Now the box is very nice. Usually I don't go over boxes because they're pretty bland, but this is very, very nice. I do wish it had the opening flap like some of the more expensive third-party companies have. So I picked this guy up off of Big Bad Toy Store and he wasn't too bad, but the box is very nice. I do love the front picture there. On the back you do have a bunch of other pictures just showing what he can do, some of his accessories. Calidus there on the side. On the top you have another picture of Calidus there. And that's about it for the box. Whee! Continuing with accessories, which is something I don't normally do first. Anyway, he comes with a Rocktimus blaster, or a hot rod blaster, whichever one you want to call it, an ion pistol or whatever. It's very, very cool, very, very long. He also comes with his energy bow, which is very cool. Very nice and very sharp and pointy. It doesn't have a yellow string, but I'm kind of over it. It's fine. And he also comes with an alternate face. Now this, to tell the truth, is actually the face that was on him when I got him. However, like a lot of people when I got this figure, I found the alternate head was just a lot more fun. Check out that face sculpt. That is so cool. So very cool. I have to do this in order to get my camera to focus on it. But it is very awesome. Now the only problem I do have with mine is when I was learning how to transform it, and this is a point I'll get to in the actual transformation itself, or if not in the transformation I'll say something before. But right under his chin, right there, you can see that there's a smudge off of the bottom part of his chin. And that was actually because the instructions aren't very helpful with rotating the head. Calidus' final accessory is a little card. It's this one. The one that has his picture on it. It also has some tech specs, but they're hidden by Yegatron. So Hot Rod then, or Calidus, depending. For the sake of this video, I'm going to call him Hot Rod. So Hot Rod, he is very cool, very nice, very robots in disguise, more than meets the eye. Coming in close, you can see some of the details in this figure. He is absolutely gorgeous. And I will echo what a lot of people have said, that looking at this on my camera, these pieces right here that I'm pointing to, and these centerpieces don't look like they're a different color, but they totally are in hand. The pieces on the inside here are more of a salmon color, and this is more of a deep red, which is so cool. This guy looks really good in hand. Being only my second purchase from Mastermind Creations, they've blown me away. The only thing that I do have to sort of stipulate here is that these wings are very, very prone to just coming off. I can't get them to do it now, of course. There we go, just like that. Especially when I'm transforming the figure, and it's a security feature, and I really do enjoy that. However, when you're trying to fiddle with this guy the first time around, they keep popping off and you lose them underneath your couch. By the way, I don't know if you can hear it, but like I said, it is July 4th, so neighbors are shooting off fireworks. His articulation in this mode, his head is on a ball joint, so you can get nice wiggle waggle and rotation. There is a divot here in his chin, or in his chest plate rather, to sort of take the chin and set it into a thing. I don't really get it, but it's there. You can kind of lever it up like that to get better side to side, Although my previous head really has me worried about the overall paint on his face. Like, I don't want this head to scratch. So in order to swap the heads around, all you have to do is unscrew this little hole back there. But his head is on a ball joint, so if you really want to take your $100 figure and rip the head off, you can. I just prefer to take the screw out. It is a little tricky to get posed, mainly because of, again, pudgy digits. It works fine. It's hard to show off decently. You can get enough expression out of it, but like I said, I'm terrified of scratching the face paint. His arms will go all the way around. They do get blocked by his spoiler, which you can take off if you really want to, but I don't. And they go up back about that far. They can come up like that, but you are exposing this bit here. And if you rotate it down, it does expose some of this. Now the arms are where this guy is sublimely articulated. He has a full rotation at the shoulder, although it does get blocked by the spoiler, so careful. But he does have an upper bicep swivel, and he has a single joint there at the arm, and he also has a lower elbow joint, so he does technically have a double jointed elbow, which is phenomenal. I love it. He also has this gauntlet section that rotates for no other reason than to get, pew pew, posy posy. And these are actually stiff pieces of plastic. They will not bend. So if you push too hard on them or pull too hard on them or twist them one way, they will break. So be careful. He does have a wrist swivel. I believe it's on a ball joint. Yes, it is. He does have the Masterpiece Seeker hands. That's as open as his hands can go. You can close them just fine. The only thing I find odd about the hands is this finger. Now, this is the pointer finger, so he's not doing something obscene, but it's always kind of curved to make the fist. It is also slightly away from everything else. He has a very smooth waist joint. The hips are kind of stiff, more stiff than I'd like. It's not ratcheted or anything, and I did try to unscrew these. It doesn't seem to be a pressure this way. It's more like the joint on the leg is too big for the hole. So when it gets posed in one position for too long, you do kind of have to... But yes, he goes back about that far. Forward, he can kick decently. He can go out on a very nice ratchet that far. The only problem I have with the ratchet joints is this is base position, stock still. And then his legs are super spread apart. So I find if I can have one out, and kind of twist it a bit, it doesn't look bad, especially with these feet, which I'll get to in a minute. But he does have a thigh swivel, a single jointed knee, but you do get double range movement out of it, which is nice, which is very, very nice. And this sculpting on the front to make it look like it's ratcheted, it looks like it should be ratcheted, but it's just friction. The feet, for some weird reason, are on a slider, so they can sit back here or slide forward just a hair. I guess it's to fill in the silhouette of his feet better? So with the feet fully slid out, you can see that he has a decent range of movement here in the ankles. Forward and back is respectable, but due to transformation, they can't really do a whole lot. And the heel can point if you want him to walk around in high heels or something like that. The only problem I really do have with Calidus is that sometimes it can look like he's, sitting like this. And it's not really something that I think is inherently wrong with the toy. Trying to adapt a comic book design into physical 3D existence. I will echo kind of what Pia said, is that he needs an Autobot badge up in here and maybe some flame decals. Throughout my time with Calidus, there really hasn't been a pose that I've wanted to put him in that he can't do, and he can hold his accessories. I find the gun is a bit easier to fit in his mitts, because literally all you have to do is just slide it in. It's a odd-shaped peg. No, not that one. See, because his hands are circular, and the peg is because it's a rectangle, but the outsides are curved. So it does fit into his hands very nicely. And part of me wishes he came with two, just because to have the whole Rocktimus twin blaster thing I think would be awesome. And his bow can fit in his hands, although I prefer to open them for this one. It actually sits in his hand rather nicely. And now he has his energy bow. And if you really are that upset that he only comes with one of these guns, Little Rodman can totally steal Titan's Return Rocktimus' guns to use him as sort of a cowboy. Yeehaw! For some size comparisons, here is Calidus, and here we have him next to Titans Return Hot Rod, Classics Hot Rod, Alternators Hot Rod, or is this Kiss Players Hot Rod? I can never remember. And the original Masterpiece Rocktimus Prime. And now, some transformation. First off, what I'm going to do is something that's not really necessarily said on the instructions, but I'm going to take these off because they just seem to fall off when I do the transformation anyway. So, off they come. Secondly, this face, and it's actually focusing a lot better over here in the dark than it is over there in the light, but it has to be positioned just so it has like a micrometer of clearance between this side of his collar and his chin. Yeah, I'm doing it right because the last one I transformed him twice and he has a scuff on his chin. So now that that's done, we can get on with the rest of the transformation, which I'm going to try to show you in as much detail as I can, aside from the, fiddly bits, that just the tabbings and things. Whoosh! Here he is in vehicle mode. And I love this little rod pod. It's such a futuristic little Rocktimus Prime wedge that it is so incredibly awesome. Now, from my vague memory of the comics, I don't remember actually seeing him transform, but I imagine this is what it looks like. And bonus, you can store the weapons in vehicle mode. Now, the gun, as you would expect, is rather silly. You just plug it in up top, and yeah, it is just as silly as you think it is. This is where things get awesome. Because, if you notice, under the front bumper, there are two little pegs, and there are two little holes in the bow. You line those up, give it a tiny squeeze, fold those in the notches carved out for them, and ba-boom! Now he has two little pointy dagger things on the front of his car. Now for some size comparisons, while he is in vehicle mode, here we have Calidus, and here we have Titans Return Hot Rod, Classics Hot Rod, Alternators Hot Rod, and the original Masterpiece Rocktimus. I feel like I deserve an extra little high five because I transformed this guy and he didn't blow up. Not from you! Now Calidus, being a vehicle, has four little rolling wheels. The two in the front you can see, and then the two in the back are back in here, and they're a lot smaller, and they're a lot thinner. Now these are actually what hook the torso arms and the torso together. That's what they hold on to, is the peg here and the connection there. So it's really cool use in robot mode. But this car is just... I love the way the colors work, and I love how the pipes look, and bonus, these aren't chrome, so they won't fade. Overall then, Calidus is not a toy for the youngins. He is definitely not for everybody, but he has a welcome place on my shelf, and he will not be going anywhere. He is a lovely little Rocktimus, and I am quite happy with him. So if you like robots in disguise, Hot Rod, you're gonna like this guy, and I mean, I'm gonna keep him. Anyway guys, this has been Rocktimus Prime with Calidus, saying hope you guys have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you all next time. Take care everybody.